Hey, what's up? I'm probably gonna get gaslit for this because I've had it happen to me before. Coming on here and talking about a segment of men that most people would think are incels um, or simps. People will usually write them off as that. I don't like those terms because they don't apply to me personally, and I don't think it applies to all men that kind of struggle with some of the things that we do. Now, me admitting this before, I've actually been gaslit over it. And it's almost like people want to write you off as something without even listening. Um, but for me, the reason that I have no problem saying this is because there's other people that obviously feel the same way I do. And hey, you know what? If it could help, I hope it does. Yes, there's a segment of us that most people will not look at as attractive. They might deem as ugly. But what do you think about yourself? I dig who I am. I'm not tripping on that. Aside from my balding hair, I'm cool. I like the way I look. I would not change anything. Um, but the struggle is like sometimes how people approach you when it comes to attracting the opposite sex, you know? And I don't believe that it's confidence. Like I said, I dig who I am. I dig all of that. It's like so messed up because so many men out there are, worried about if they're confident enough to the point where it's almost like men get the blame for it. But when you live in a society where it's just like, hey, you have no control about what people are going to think about you, and if you're attracted to someone, whether they're going to be attracted to you. The thing is, you have to settle that within yourself to not let yourself go off the deep end, you know, and be self-hating and loathing against not only other people but also yourself. I'm sorry, against not only you but other women or whatnot. I guess that's what some people say incels do. I'm kind of new to the term. People might think that I'm that because I probably don't have the game that a lot of cats do, and I don't particularly care about having game with anyone because I don't play games. Um, but even that term, though, the term incel and simp, sometimes I think it's just an excuse to write someone off as if they are not normal. Like it's not a normal thing that you don't attract women. And some people act like men don't have to have or shouldn't have any feelings of rejection or anything like that. As if we are supposed to be just this icicle of non-emotions, or you get shamed for expressing that kind of stuff. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with it at all, because if we feel a certain way, we just do. Now it's what we do within that feeling a certain way, that's what's crucial. Nothing's wrong with feeling hurt. Nothing's wrong with feeling rejection, because it's human. And the thing is, when you gaslight somebody over hurts that they may have, or blame them for not being confident enough, that just shows you don't care about them. You don't care about listening to what happened and how they hurt, you know? And maybe if they're a bit extreme, that's another thing. But if they're just talking about legit things of expressions of things that they've gone through, don't shame them for it. It's just that they're being honest about that. I have no shame. I have no shame in the no game. you know um and I admit that. Now some people, a lot of I've heard different people that I know kind of out of concern, some will say, well, it's what you say within your mouth. Well, I don't really believe that either. Because if you're expressing about how you feel about a certain things and how it made you feel, it is just what it is. That's just you letting that out, versus you lying to yourself and saying that you don't feel that way. Um, I seriously don't think that it's just confidence. It's a lot of times, even when you look at the opposite sex, this is for the guys or anyone listening, but I'm giving you a male perspective in this regard. You know, if you're trying to be a respectful dude, it's all about what it's, to be honest, it's really in the woman's park. You know, you can do only so much as a guy. A lot of us feel this way. We could only do so much. We can't or will not want to force anyone to be digging us like that. So it's just like someone told me that basically, it's up to me, I have to go find that person or I have to do the chase. Not in this day and age, especially when you have, like I look at it like this. A lot of women are very sensitive and women have been through a lot to the point where, you know, I'm very careful. I don't want to stir up any image of 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 intimidation. And the thing is, it's like there's a few times that I've gone out of my way in a sense to kind of like just do compliments occasionally. One of a few of those times it's kind of been met with not cool things, and no, I'm not vulgar when I do it. It's just kind of hard to navigate sometimes because women probably get a lot of it. And so me being a person that, how could I say this, wants to be respectful and not seem overbearing to that person, when you get stuff like that, it's just kind of hard to navigate around. It's not that I'm not confident, it's just that I actually care, you're just concerned because you don't want to come off the wrong way. And I've heard guys and ladies, blame men like myself that it's my fault that I can't get anyone. I won't even say can't because I don't know. My thing is this, I have a very agnostic approach to it. I base things basically off of pattern recognition, I guess. Actually, no. I base it as it comes. So far, I say this. It just hasn't happened like that with me. And at least not the way it's happened to like a lot of people that I know. But, it's cool. It's just, you just have to make it cool within yourself, even if you feel like it makes you kind of sad sometimes. For me, a part of me is like kind of used to it, but a part of me is, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm totally cool with it because I'm not. But what could I do? Life goes on. For those people, especially the guys out there who feel the same way, I hope this resonates with you. Those dudes that are really heart stricken, just get a hold of yourself. I don't know their backgrounds on some of these so-called incel types. I don't even want to call them that because I don't know them. But a lot of those dudes have been hurt to the point where it's frustration. I understand that frustration as a human being. I'm not giving any excuse for some of the actions that I've read about but I understand such frustration. But the thing is, you have to just kind of dig yourself, even if it never happens, you just have to dig yourself. It will be a struggle if you struggle with just kind of being bummed about that, but you got to dig yourself. To all the guys that are listening, you have to dig who you are and what you're becoming and trying to be as positive as possible. That's the thing that even people that tell me that, they don't see me basically thinking this. I've already think that. I have a lot of confidence. It's frustrating sometimes that it just doesn't happen for me that way. But it's something that's not going to kill me, There's a lot of things that that I have great within my life. And if it happens, it does. And if it doesn't, I just have to deal with it the best way that I can. Am I perfect? No. Do I hate women? Hell no. No, not at all. And it's just messed up when people are very prejudiced towards you because of your position. They think when you're talking to a woman that you're being thirsty. Not everybody that I talk to, I'm, no matter how attractive they look, I'm interested in. And I have a lot of female friends, lots. So that's a whole nother situation, but kind of not at the same time. I've been told, like that. I remember some woman wanted to kind of like make me over because she thought she could help. I just kind of didn't do it because I'm like, well, heck, dude, if any of these other ladies see me looking like what you made and then they find out that I'm not like that, what else, I get what she was saying though, but yeah, you got to be you. Just kind of be the best you no matter what. And nothing's wrong for all the guys that are listening that struggle with this, nothing's wrong with feeling the way that you do. It's just how you navigate yourself. You know, I just hate when people say that I am not confident, or guys like myself are not confident, and blame us for basically what, what we don't, I guess, have. you know, I don't know if all of us are entitled to just a person. Like, and I'm not just saying that as a man. I'm just saying as a human being. I'm not trying to sound negative or cynical. I just don't know. Like I said, I have a very agnostic approach to things like this. And for me, I don't know if I'm supposed to just be alone or not. Some of us, if there's anybody out there that feels the same way, I would just say, kind of just take the moment as you can. Yes, face the feelings that you have and look at the best qualities about yourself and dwell on that. It's gonna probably happen a lot. I've been alive for a long time, and yeah, I've faced these things a lot. It's kind of trying for some dudes to talk about this because they don't want to be called a punk or a pussy or anything like that. I probably shouldn't have said that word. I'm trying to refrain from profanity. Or just some kind of simp or a wuss. But you know what? There are men that go through this. Not every guy is the guy with game or the guy that is confident. It's just the reality. If you are in the position that I'm in, it is what it is. You have to just dig who you are, no matter what people think about you. I've never followed anybody's freaking trend ever. I've always been the one to follow my own thing. And sometimes things fall into that and sometimes it doesn't. That's just the way that life is. I go by Audio for a reason. It's short from my other nickname, Odd Rocker, which I've been all my life. But being that, it just is what it is. Whether I look normal or not, I'm still Odd Rocker. I'm still gonna have the same thing go on, at least from what I've experienced. Who knows? Or I'll just say this: I'll have the same mind frame as far as just like me being who I am, and standing no matter what, as the individual me, and not really, how could I say this, falling suit to what the world thinks in that regard. But even saying this, I could admit, yeah, I'm a human being. I'm not Superman. I have my own struggles, even in this area. It's frustrating sometimes, but no, I'm not killing myself over it. Nor do I hate any women over that. I have beautiful sisters and a bunch of beautiful friends and a great mom and my aunts. As far as just saying that that's not the reason that I can't have such a bias like some guys do against women. I cannot do that. I just can't. I know too many great, cool women to do that. And it's balanced me out even when certain women have done me wrong. I'm like, not all women are like that. For all the guys that are listening and may feel that way, they may feel mad at the world because of basically them not getting that female reaction. Obviously, I'm not interested in, like in a romantic sense. Obviously, I'm not interested in the people that I just named, as far as relatives. But just, they're a beacon to let me know that there are great women in this world. And I have so many cool ladies that I know, friends and family, to kind of basically be that light. Even if I never really meet that person, the fact that there are great people in the world, especially ladies, that should be known. Now, I'll be honest, unfortunately, you have some people, some guys that probably don't have the same experiences that I do. And the only thing I could do is pray for them, in that they can actually meet people like this, and hopefully they're not too gone. But I did this video just because I feel like a lot of us men out there are expected to basically take the weight and the blame for certain things that I don't think we should take the blame for. Some things are just as they are. Even with me, I can just say that for myself right now. I don't know what the future's going to bring. Maybe something might happen, maybe it won't. Who knows? But the thing is, if anybody else is listening, you know, especially the guys out there, you got to dig yourself no matter what. God made you. And some of you guys I probably know will probably not believe in God, but the fact that you have your own self is a testament of something that's creative. No matter what. It's hard for me not to believe in God, but God even gave you as yourself, as a glimpse into who he is as an infinite person. And that's the thing. We have to look at that ourselves. Because the thing is, without that, we're lost. And a lot of men, especially that feel the way that I do, they're lost. They're hurt. They're crushed to the point where they don't even want to live anymore. And they do things like some of these cats that I've been seeing. I'm not giving an excuse for what they did. No, you don't do that. That's just wrong. That's just straight up evil. But there's some people, it's just, you got to dig you. You got to dig yourself, the great parts about yourself. And I don't mean in this, how could I say this? This narcissistic way to think that you're God's gift to humanity. In all reality, and I say this with all humility, we're all God's gifts to each other. And it's simple to say that, but even thinking about it, man, it's a humbling thing to think about that, because there's some people that I don't even want to be around because they haven't been like gifts in that regard. And that's a whole nother situation. But just God's intention was to basically make us gifts to each other. Hapte Selassie, that's what, Hapte means gift, and Selassie is Trinity. It means gift of the Trinity. So even hearing that particular name reminds me of not only my purpose on earth, but also how I'm supposed to look at creation. Do I look at creation like that all the time? No. But it's a conviction to do that. I don't even want to use the term conviction. That's a Protestant term. It's an encouragement to do such. God always wants the best for us. And sometimes I don't know what that best is. And that's what I'm trying to balance out. I guess just a lot of this stuff, I feel like there are dudes that might feel a certain way. And they might not feel like as if they'll never meet that person. Even if you feel that way, nothing's wrong with it, dude. Nothing's wrong with admitting that you feel that way. But always know this. Know that the Most High digs you and wants the best for you and wants you to know not only you, but also him, And when you know the Most High, you know yourself. I'm getting to know myself. Will you struggle? Yes, you will. You will always struggle, because the Most High is always showing us the truth about not just things around us, but also within ourselves. Even when it comes to this particular situation. No, I'm not saying you have to be a monk or anything like that. Just, nothing's wrong with being real about your struggle. Just don't let your struggle, in a sense, define you in the negative. It's a heavy situation in how to talk, because the thing is, I've been gaslit over this. I've had people clown me over the things that I've said. And I think that's very hurtful and very evil on their part. Nothing's wrong with admitting that you probably can't get the ladies or whatever, or attract people like that. I'm one of them, or I haven't. I'm not saying that I'm not attractive or anything like that. I like the way I look, But you know what? It's sometimes what people might think of you that kind of hurts. But you know what? You be who you are, and you dig who you are. And as I said numerous times, the only thing I would change is I would want my hair back because I don't like going bald. That's the only thing that I would change, you know? But don't let yourself, you know, don't surround yourself with yourself, as it says in that old Yes song, "I Seen All Good People," you know, um, because you could easily be selfish. You know, you put yourself in a cell. You're full of cells. Yeah, me and my metaphor are horrible. I know. I think about what I said though. Yeah. So there's a certain Instagram model I have to give a shout out to. I don't know if she'll ever hear this, but it was cool to see her not only make the video about her being into big dudes, which I'm obviously not, but also come back and reiterate her actually being into big dudes, because a lot of the guys that commented on her page said that they thought that she was joking just to be funny, and she wasn't, and she felt kind of like some kind of way that a lot of dudes didn't think that she was serious, you know, and she actually said, "Nah, I'm really into big dudes like that," you know, and she felt that she needed to just kind of like basically kind of like give an encouragement to dudes that didn't feel confident like that. Now there's some dudes that don't feel confident because of all the rejection that they've gotten. I totally understand that. I'm glad that this particular Instagram model actually did this, because seriously, it made a lot of guys, I'm sure it made a lot of guys feel a lot better, you know. And I'm glad she did. I'm not gonna mention her name. A lot of you guys probably know who she is already. But I'm glad she actually did it, because, you know, even though I'm not the one that she directed it at, I was just glad that she cared enough to actually show mad love and respect to those that probably don't get that kind of, you know, those kind of accolades, you know. That meant a whole lot, you know, even to me, not even being in their positions as a small short cat, you know. But yeah, you know, I just thought I would come on here and share my thoughts about certain things. I tend to overthink everything that I say, because I think it's always going to be misunderstood by somebody, because it's always misunderstood by people. And people don't take time to really listen. They just take time to have their own opinions about you no matter what, and don't even want to hear what you have to say. So one thing I would say is, please, if you have any questions, don't freaking like accuse me of anything. Please ask in dialogue. I come here to dialogue. I don't come here to argue and trip on people. Don't freaking gaslight me either because I'm saying these things, you know? Dialogue is everything. And I hope this reaches some cats that might struggle, you know? I'm going to be who I am no matter what, dude. I'm Odd Rocker. I'm who I am. Audio discourse. So, hey, peace and blessings to all of you cats out there, you know, and if any kittens out there listening and you have anything to chime in, please ask the questions, and I'm here for dialogue, not arguing or people trolling or gaslighting, because there's a lot of dudes that feel like I do and they won't say it. They'll brag about how many chicks they get. They'll brag about being this and that when they ain't nothing, and they're going through the same hurt that a lot of us have. Anyway, peace and blessings, you guys. I don't. A part of me is saying I want to know what you think, but I don't know. I'm just saying what I'm gonna say no matter what. Peace.